And for those of you that don't understand that Miss Angie Stone climbed out the van on her own. She was instructed to sit down on the side of the road by a white person, and then she was ran over by a white person.
A lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. As I begin to find out things that I never had to look into, because when you hire a team of people that to some degree supposed to have your back, you're thinking that they're getting it all together for you. You know, that's why, you know, I respect Oprah Winfrey in that respect when she said, do your own research. Just stoned the celebrity that I let a lot of important things slip through the cracks only because I didn't know any better. I worked very hard to take care of my kids as a single mother, and I'm being transparent. My kids' fathers just were not doing what they're supposed to do. So I had to step up and go in and do everything that I needed to do for my family, which is why I worked so hard, which is why I traveled so much, which is why I did shows, because at the end of the day, after 40-something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there's several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs. All the songs that I've done, I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. People that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I am truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. See, I'm not an attorney. I don't know everything. What I learned how to do was go out, work hard, get paid, come home, pay my bills, take care of my family. That part. The legal side, when you hire attorneys and managers and agents, they're supposed to make sure the gray area over there that they're in the driver's seat for, they're supposed to make sure you're taken care of. And even though they were taking care of themselves, they thought very little of taking care of me. And I know because I've seen it with my own eyes. So I'm just here to let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem? Oh, yeah. So you got to get a diesel crew, and I call them a diesel crew, to go in and rectify the issue, because Evidently, all the time that I've been working through things, they didn't get.
May she rest peacefully wherever she is right now. Now, there is something that I think we need to address, something that I think we need to talk about. I believe it's important if we have this discussion. And I think there is a way in which people are always trying to take the credits of Black creator. If you know, just recently before her death, she complained about not being paid her royalties, despite the fact that her music has been so well in the R&B soul pop industry for the longest time. And now the Universal company doesn't want to pay her royalties. Doesn't this sound so familiar to you? In as much as it is not the same company, look at what happened to Michael Jackson. The same script. They'll always try to find a way of sabotaging you, or if they can't sabotage you, they find a way of making you disappear. And I think the same thing it happened to the late Michael Jackson and so many Black artists who has been in the industry for the longest time. Now, the cases that are coming out really proves or really shows that the death of Angie Stone was not a normal death. And the witnesses that are coming out to explain this are trying to tell you the truth. And this white lady who comes out and explains the real scenario that happened, because people are asking, if 8 people are on the track, why is it that she's the only one who died? There are so many conspiracy stories. One, people are saying that she had some health conditions that made her pass away, that triggered the heart attack or something. Some people are saying that, especially this white lady who is now coming out and saying that she herself took Angie Stone out of the car. And then from there, they were hit. And then she found herself somewhere out. On her realization, Angie Stone died. So what does this ask to tell you? There are a lot of things that are happening, and there are a lot of questions or things that doesn't make sense in regards to this. I want us to watch this video. I'll be back and, we'll have a little chit chat in regards to this. This is some things that we need to address.
I find it very suspicious that Angie Stone just uploaded a video right before she passed that's basically called out Universal Music Group for not paying her royalties, y'all. She said she should have retired 20 years ago, but because UMG decided not to pay her royalties that they owe her, that she has to work an extra 20 years, and that is the reason she was on the road today. She was on the way to a work gig. Y'all, this is sad. I'm going to play the video, and y'all let me know what you think.
Doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy.
They weren't paying her royalties for the past 10 years, 20 years.
Grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem? I have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure.
She had posted this right before, y'all, literally a couple days ago.
Grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money.
Notice how it's been at least 2 weeks since Angie Stone passed away. And we have yet to hear from anybody that was in the accident. We have yet to hear from the driver of the truck that hit the Sprinter van. We have yet to hear from the driver that was driving the Sprinter van. It's like everyone has just went straight cold and ain't nobody saying nothing. See, I'm starting to wonder if the passengers, then did they sign an NDA? Is that why nobody is speaking out? When the story first came out, they said it happened at 7 a.m. And then they turned around and said that it happened at 4 a.m. Now, we still don't even have the truth as to what time the accident really happened. At first, they came out saying that the Sprinter van was hit. They said that it flipped 3 times. And then after that, they said that the 18-wheeler hit the Sprinter van. And that's when Angie Stone was unalived. This lady is coming out saying that she actually drove by the accident right after it happened. She's saying that her and her daughter drove by the accident and she stopped. And she's saying that she got out and she helped Angie Stone get out of the van. She helped her across the street. Angie was hit by the 18-wheeler. Hard time believing it. I'm having a hard time believing anything. But I want y'all to listen to her story.
On the side of the interstate. I have pieces of the fender in my hair. I have it's oil all over my body. I'm gonna clean this up and we're gonna get back to telling the story and I'll show you the footage. After driving the 6 hours home, showering, and processing it all, here's the story. About 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, me and my daughter were driving to Charleston, South Carolina for her Sweet 16 birthday getaway. We came up to a truck with a trailer and its flashers were on, so we slowed down some, and that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the fast lane. And it looked like it just happened. I pulled over and put my flashers on and I told my daughter to stay in the car, and I ran over. It was a van, and I ran over and there were so many people in this van and they were just trying to get out, and I asked if they'd called the cops and they said we're just trying to get out, and they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around, and I said, baby, you got to sit down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body, and I got up and I could hear screaming, and I just focused in on one screaming, and it was my daughter, and all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back in the car. She had to move the car because if somebody else hit us, it could hit her. So she moved the car farther up the interstate, and I called 911 and they said they were on their way. And then all I could think to do was get to my daughter. And that's all I could do in that time. And when I was walking to my daughter, we're really running. The best that I can do, I was in so much pain. My chest felt like an elephant was sitting on it. My legs were so hurt and sore. And I looked up and there was an 18-wheeler that had crossed the median into oncoming traffic. And I knew that's what hit me and ran over and brushed over me was the 18-wheeler. And my daughter's freaking out. She'd already called my husband by then and my father-in-law. And I just told her, we've got to get to the hospital. I can't breathe. It was so hard to breathe. I'm going to post a video of the 18-wheeler after I left the hospital, driving back through to get to my husband and my son. I will not be posting the vehicle in the video because somebody did pass away. They did. And I won't be posting that for respect for their family. I'm sore, I'm bruised all on the right side of my body. I'm very stiff everywhere. But I will keep you guys updated. And the video is going to come at the end, okay? Hug your family tight. Hug your family tight. Bye.
See, I don't know what to believe at this point. I mean, I feel like this lady's telling the truth. She was about to cry. But here's the thing. She said the part about how when she got her out of the van and how she was just wobbly all over the place. It sounded kind of like Angie might have been, right? I wonder. So did they trick her before they put her in the van? Why is there no footage? Do y'all realize that the truck that hit Angie Stone allegedly, the CRST truck, those trucks have front-facing cameras. They don't have the cameras that face you inside the truck, but they do have the ones that face outside the truck. So I used to drive trucks, and I can tell you that with those cameras, if you hit the slightest bump, them cameras go off. If you jerk that truck the wrong way, them cameras gonna go off. Them cameras would have went off, and so there should be footage Why is there no footage? Why are we seeing no footage? Why hasn't anyone that was in the accident came out and spoke out? Those are the questions that I have. Y'all let me know down below. Do you believe this lady or not? I mean, who is this woman? Is she telling the truth? Was she really there? I mean, I don't know. And what do y'all believe happened? Do y'all believe that maybe Angie was drugged before she got put into the van? Or, you know, let me know down in the comments, because I don't know anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore.
And who else has seen the video of the guy that goes into this deep rabbit hole about how Angie Stone actually survived the rollover car accident and that she was able to climb out of the vehicle, and after she climbed out of the vehicle, that's when she was unalived?
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I honestly don't know. I'm not happy, you can see, but I might have not listened to a lot of Angie Stone songs, but I listened to a couple of them. Little did I know there are some hit songs that I didn't know that, you know, it was hers until she came to died. But that's not just that. The things that are happening with black creators, these companies, they want to benefit of the work of black creators. And when they benefit of the work of black creators, they don't want to pay them. Because just recently, Angie Stone was complaining about not being paid the royalties. And she has to work for extra 20 years. Look at how inhuman that is. What does that tell you? Okay, you might be saying that I'm petty. I mean, it's a reflection of how, during those Jim Crow times, things used to work. They have to put you in a loop to always make you work for them. And that's how they want. And the greedy corporate, that's what they do. It's all about profits over humanity. You can't tell me you signed a contract with a person and you want them to work for you for the entire life. I mean, that's crazy. That's so selfish, right? And when they realize that you can't go away from, I mean, when they realize that they can't sabotage you, there is a way that they can make, I mean, they can silence you. That's how they operate. It is for the long time. We have black artists who has fall onto all this problem, right? So I honestly don't know. In as much as a lot of talks, a lot of people coming up with theories in regards to this, but the truth is there. This lady was taken away for some reasons that maybe they're not telling us, but the truth is out there, and everyone knows the truth that they took her away because she was now starting to expose the secrets. She now started talking the deep things that happen inside there. She started exposing the evil things. In as much as they know very well that this lady will expose them because they're not paying her, they had to act fast. Because tell me why. I'm not sure if it was the same day, but she complains about not being paid her royalties. And then few days, she's normal. What does that ask to tell you about how these people operate? Right. So I think the death of Angie Stone is something that still needs to be investigated, in as much as, yeah, that'll be a common message. Oh, she died through an attack. Oh, but the reality, I think, needs to be there. People need just to sit down, and the black community, I think it's time we need to start addressing this, because the black creativity, these people want to benefit off the black creativity, but they don't want to pay black creators. That's what they're trying to do. And doesn't this sound so familiar with what happened during those Jim Crow times, when they put restrictive laws that still made black people to still work for them so that they can continue getting the profits out of it. I mean, did they do that? That's a question we need to ask ourselves. So honestly, my take on this is that these happened by design. That's my conclusion, but I mean, that's what I'll say. And there's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. And trust me, in a few days' time, a lot more evidence will be coming out. And this is a developing story. I'm just trying to follow up as a person who really cares much for brothers and sisters who look like me in the diaspora. I thought that I might want to say 1, 2, 3 things in regards to this, because I believe that we need to address these issues in as much as they look as little as they can sometimes look. But I feel it's important for us to discuss about this, because the evidences that are coming out are all winning what the news is saying. What the news is saying is contrary to what is expected or what reality is. That's just according to me. This is a presenter, Gintox Stories. I hope you get to understand that this is not something that should be taken lightly. A lot more investigation should be done. And people demand the truth. We demand the truth, right? So thank you for watching. I'm going to be seeing you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salam.